we spend our whole lives building habits, and not all of them are for the better. But then we get upset because we can't change those habits that we've spent years developing.
Hello, Empowered Global Women in Business podcast. This is Elle Ballard with my guest today, Claire Wetmore. Hi, Claire. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, great to have you. Thank you for taking the time. So Claire Wetmore is a financial educator and entrepreneur dedicated to helping families build a real lasting wealth. Through practical strategies, mindset shifts, she teaches people how to grow, protect, and take control of their money. Welcome.
Thank you.
Where does your passion for this work comes from? How did that originate? Why did you choose this field for your work?
That's a great question. I did not come from a financial background. I came from professionally riding horses and welding, of all things. My dad taught me how to weld, and I went to school for that. So I didn't go to traditional college. Cool. I went to welding school. And I did that for about 12 years. Somewhere along the lines, I realized that while that was fun, it wasn't doing anything for the greater good. And I had in my power at that time this opportunity to teach financial literacy. And it wasn't a huge forefront except for me learning how myself, because I didn't learn anything when I was growing up. My education on finances was credit cards are bad and you need to save money, which is great. That's pretty much the education that a lot of people get right now is here, run, go take it, grow up, you're 18, get out of the house. But we don't really have a formal financial education. We don't understand how money works, how credit cards work, how interest works, how to make sure we don't get into debt, how to buy a house, how to rent, how to talk to people. There's just so much that we don't have taught to us that we need as adults. And it's not our parents' fault. I mean, you can't teach what you don't know. But that being said, it needs to change. And so my mission is to make sure that the people have access to this for free. We don't charge clients to sit. And we want to make sure that everyone gets access to a formal financial education. For me, it was empowering people because I didn't have that. And I realized that that was something that I could do to give back.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for doing this work. So important. I agree. And I didn't know about the horses. That's awesome. My daughter used to ride horses. So it's such a cool sport.
It is. And it teaches you a responsibility for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a tough one, and discipline, and because it's not only on you, it's also this communication between the horse, right, and all the things that come with it. Yeah, interesting. Love that. Yeah, and I love that you do that because it's so important. I agree with it. There is so much in the financial field, right, and so many ways to learn, so many things to know. So I love that you're doing that. Yeah, building real lasting wealth. Amazing. So with this building your business on your own terms after your previous work as a welder, which is also so cool. I love that. Once you started doing and working in this field and educating people about financial wealth, what are some of the lessons that you learned that you would want to share with us today, or maybe something that you've seen, the patterns that you've seen that people are faced with as well, right? While building a long-lasting wealth.
Well, I've learned a lot in the last 4 years. A lot of personal development, a lot of figuring out how to go out on my own without a 9-to-5 and someone hovering over my shoulder telling me to go to work. I had to definitely unlearn a lot of work until you're tired and then you can sleep kind of thing. I didn't have the structure of an employee anymore, and it was definitely a culture shock. It's a transition. It is becoming an entrepreneur, as you probably know. Some of the
For
things that
sure.
I've learned along the way, though, for people in general, is that they don't save first. A lot of people, I mean, myself included, was taught to go to work, get a good job. They'll take care of you for the rest of your life. You stick with them, and you're loyal to one
Mm-hmm.
company. And that's really
Mm-hmm.
not the way the world works anymore, unfortunately. And so I think
Yeah.
people are starting to figure that out, and
Mm-hmm.
wake up and
Mm-hmm.
take control of their own lives. But one thing that we don't have is an emergency fund. Having that security, every paycheck, putting like, I don't know, $50 to $200 away every month or every paycheck to say, okay, this is my bill. Treat that as a bill. This is my savings, and I'm not going to let this go to someone else because I don't have that money to. A lot of people pay bills first, and then what's left over they save or spend. But that was probably the biggest mindset shift I needed to learn, was to build that emergency fund so that you can make sure that you, myself personally, but you and your family are taken care of for a while if something happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I love that. All these things I remember and I've learned before, but it's interesting how times changed, and but a lot of people are still doing. Um, is it a habit, or is it just some people don't know, or is it both? Yeah.
You we spend our whole lives building habits, and not all of them
Mm-hmm.
are for the better. But then we get upset because we can't change those habits that we've spent years developing. And so I think we also just have to have a little bit of grace, because I mean, on my fitness journey personally, I was quite upset that, a year into my fitness journey, I wasn't at the weight I wanted to be, but I'd spent 24 years building the weight I currently was. So it's not going to
Yeah.
happen overnight, but
Yeah.
learning those little habits and catching yourself when you do spend frivolously. I mean, I don't mean don't treat yourself, because we have to have a life. But when we don't need those boots, when we could spend the money in our savings account rather than going to buy an extra pair of boots, catching yourself making
Mm-hmm.
those decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I like the analogy with the, yeah, just taking time, and really things, when we build things and when we change things, they take time. So having that patience, having the discipline to, yeah, to do that. So when you think of, so it is the Empowered Global Women Business Podcast. And when you think about being an empowered uh, woman building a business, what does it mean for you personally?
I think that it means taking control over your life and not being sorry for anything that you do that's for the best. Like,
Mm,
if something is good for you, don't be
mhm.
afraid to do it or say no. I think that no is a full sentence. And
Yeah.
I think that being an empowered woman in general means that you have control over your life and you're not relying on someone else to take care of you completely. Um,
Mm,
and I think that
mhm.
finances are a huge part of that, and not the whole picture, but they're a huge part of that. Because if you have the means and the control over your own finances, you're never going to rely on a man or someone else to take care of you. And that is a huge statement in itself. Not that you shouldn't
Yeah.
have a relationship or have, whatever with someone, but not relying on them completely to take care of you means that you can be in that relationship because you want to be, not because you're desperate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh-huh. Go ahead. Yeah.
oh, no, it's okay. I was just gonna say, I think that being able to do what you want when you want to, and
Mm-hmm.
making sure that, if you want to go and take your kids to on a trip to vacation, and to just enjoy spending time with your children if you have them, without having to stress about going to a job that you hate, or and just living on your terms. I think that's what empowered, and I mean, financial empowerment means, but just in generally.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, living on your own terms. I love that. Yeah, having that time freedom to do what your heart wants on any single day. Love that. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, how do our listeners can find you, Claire?
Well, my email is claire.rfm@gmail.com, and we'll drop that. That's a great way to reach me. I also have Facebook, and I have our website is financialrevolution.com. Those are probably the best ways to reach me. But I'd be happy to have a conversation with anybody. So
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our rapid fire question section. If you are ready, I have 5 questions.
Let's go.
Awesome. My first question is, what is the name of your favorite book?
Think and Grow Rich by
Think
Napoleon
and
Hill.
Grow Rich. Love that book. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Summer or winter?
Summer. Ooh. I grew up in Vermont. Ooh, the cold. I can't do the cold anymore.
Vermont. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, it's on my list to visit for sure. Okay, favorite. Yes, we'll have to go. Yes. Favorite international destination to visit?
Bali. I really want to go to Bali.
Nice. Okay, and my final question is things that you have discovered about yourself recently.
I guess one of them is that I've realized lately that I'm a lot closer to my dreams than I think I am. And if you just, I used to think that the next chapter and the next place and the next destination were going to get me to where I wanted to be. And there's a term for it that I can't remember right now, but I had to take a step back and realize that where I am is where I need to be in this moment. And I got to stop hating my circumstances that I created and getting frustrated that I wasn't further along. And that changed a lot. I came back to myself in a way. I'm way more at peace with where I am and then pushing myself to where I want to go, but as the person I'm building right now.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's so interesting how we very often think that, oh, I must be further along than this, and we forget. And I actually have to remind myself sometimes, put a note that I'm exactly where I need to be in this moment, and I love that. Yeah, I think it's just so important to yeah. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, because that definitely, and with our listeners, that would probably resonate with other people as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you want to add something?
It's easy to think about, the future and position yourself as that future person somewhere off in the distance that you're never going to see because they're always in the distance. Yeah. But I think also back to the empowering, what does empowerment mean to me? It's that, you are her. You are the person that you see in the future. You are her right now. So in order to be her, you have to start acting like her today. What does she do? What does she dress like? How does she talk to people? What does she look like? How does she carry herself? Start acting like that today, and it's a lot closer than you think.
Yeah, love that. Yes, exactly. Beautiful. And so my final question is anything that you want. Well, thank you, first of all, of course, to come in here and share about your journey, your experience, your lessons, and what you do for others as well. Such an important work. Is there anything else that, as we close, that you want to share with our listeners? Anything about your mission? Anything at all that you want to share with our listeners today?
I guess I would start with that. Whatever you want to do in life, um, you're always going to have the fear of, what if stopping you. First of all, don't listen to that. Second of all, um, whatever you want to do is powerful, and you should listen to that. Because for me, I want to build 9 agencies across the U.S. My goal, and that's my goal in the next 5 years. I want to build a school for children aging out of the foster care and, you know, homeschool kids in school, but teenagers to learn basic adulting 101, how to financial literacy, how to be emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially healthy, um, how to make sure that they're prepared for that. And when I was welding, I realized that, it wasn't a whole like one day inspiration thing. It kind of came gradually, but I realized that
Mm-hmm.
me welding wasn't doing anything for the greater good. And I realized that I was still scared of that because I'd still been in the 9 to 5 grind for years. And I took the leap and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to do it all in. And it's been a journey, but it's been amazing. And I don't regret a single day of it. And I think that if you want to do something that your heart is telling you to do, you need to figure out how to do it, because you're not helping the world if you don't follow your dreams and your passions. And I also believe that if you have the ability, you also have the responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you have the ability, you also have the responsibility. I love it. Thank you so much, Claire. Thank you for sharing with us today your passion, your work, your lessons. And we will share links on how to connect with Claire, our listeners. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun.
It's been great. I will see you soon. Thank you.